guys, so I'm back with another quick vlog, and this is one that I think is pretty timely right now, considering the fact that many of us are working from home. Some of you all might be working from home for the first time. You've never done this before. It's a very different thing. A little bit of context for you. I worked full-time freelance for 5 years when I lived in Denver, Colorado. During that time, that was from 2010 to 2015. So I had about 3 years where I didn't have any kids. I had a dog, had a cat, and my wife would work downtown. So she would travel to work, and I would get up and I would work out of the apartment, and then we got a house, worked out of the house, and then we had a son. And on those days where I had a son, well, I guess I had a son every day. On the days that Connor would go to daycare, I would drop him off at daycare about 8:30 in the morning, 8:15, I think, and then I would pick him up about 4, if memory serves, or 4:30. He stayed at a very small daycare out of a person's house, and it was great. And so I worked out, somewhat organically, this schedule that helped me with working from home. You know, my wife has worked from home before, and she's like, I can't stop looking at all the things around me that I need to do, but I'm also trying to work on my work. And so it's like that fight, because you're combining your personal and your professional. So I have 5 tips for you really quickly I'm going to roll through and just explain that have helped me over the years manage working from home and also being somewhat sane and also keeping some things at home happening as far as chores and family relationships. So here we go. I'm going to get through all these pretty quickly. So the first thing I would recommend is just strive for balance. You want to try and create a schedule that's going to hit both fronts, work front, home front, and maybe even like 3, work front, home front, family, friends front. You have multiple things you need to focus on. So try and figure out a schedule that's going to help you hit those marks, maybe not complete them, but hit them every single day to a certain degree. And then from there, you just feel better because you're making progress on all the fronts throughout the week. And you're going to do this by creating a checklist of needs and goals you have on each of those fronts. It could be making a phone call to a friend once a day, or doing a FaceTime with a relative or someone like that once a week. Trying to have a checklist is just things like, I want to check in with people. I don't want to get tunnel vision and ignore people that are important in my life. Or I don't want to walk in and have a mountain of laundry and feel overwhelmed by that task. So create something that's going to allow you just to chip away at those fronts. Number 2 is create and maintain a workspace. We are in my workspace right now. The only time I'm in this room, 99% of the time, it's to create something. Whether it's to create for myself, create for all the freelance I'm doing, or it's to create for my employer side play. But when I'm in here, it's my space to work. Now, you may not have a space that you can have your whole room be a workspace for you. Maybe it's a corner of a room. And, you know, let's say you have an apartment where you have a kitchen living space that's one of those combined rooms. Make a corner, that is your workspace. The only time you're there is to work. The benefit behind this is because it allows you mentally and physically to be like, I'm here to do this job. So many of us go into the office and we know we were expected to work in the workplace. But also you transition that to home. It's like, wait, this is where I hang out. This is where I play PlayStation. This is where I watch TV. This is where I take naps. This is where I eat way too many cookies. Well, how do I combine those two? That's my solution, is find a space, be it a corner of a room, be it a whole room, whatever, and make that your workspace and only work there. Don't combine those things. Here's number 3, hack at your schedule. And what I mean here is once you have that checklist of goals for your professional, your personal, your relational, once you have that checklist set up, then hack in ways to just kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Perfect example I can show you is when I worked full-time freelance in Denver for 5 years, at lunchtime, it was a logical break in my workday, right? So at lunch, I would go downstairs and I would do the dishes while I'm prepping my lunch. And I did this every single day. So this did 2 things. One is it tackled that chore of the dishes, but also by doing it every day, I didn't have a mountain of dishes. I had like 5 or 6 dishes. All the stuff from my wife and myself the day prior would just be built up. I could do that in a matter of 7 to 8 minutes. Just rinse them off, wash them off, put them in the dishwasher, be ready to go. The sink was always clear. That made me feel better. That made my wife feel better. It wasn't a huge chore to tackle. The other thing I would do is, of course, I would make my own lunch. And then usually before lunchtime, I've already started a load of laundry and I let that go in the washer. So by lunchtime, I'm going to swap that out, washer into dryer. And if there's anything in the dryer, I would fold that. And if you ask my wife, I hate to fold clothes and not watch something because folding clothes to me is a pretty mundane task. So what I do is I fold clothes and I watch Netflix or Hulu Prime. And so I would turn on a show. I would fold laundry while eating my lunch. I'm not sure if you can hear my kids screaming in the background. Life at home, COVID-19. But anyways, so I would do that task. I would be folding the laundry, I would be doing the dishes, I would be eating my lunch and watching a show all at the same time, all within that hour to hour and 15-minute break from my work. I'll be doing that break anyway, right? So what this does is it just streamlines the process. You do that every single day, and then you don't have the mountain of chores to do throughout the week. Instead, you're doing small chores. Build in breaks throughout the day that are going to help you just chip away at those fronts. Here's number 4. Communicate with others. I can't stress to you how important this is right now. My normal advice to freelancers pre-plague would be get outside, go congregate with people. We can't do that right now. What we can do is work in the yard. What we can do is get outside and sweat a little bit, feel the sunlight and the wind on our skin. All that is refreshing. Back when I was in Denver working, especially pre-kids, I found that I had the temptation to just sit at my desk and work for hours and hours and hours. And so I didn't like how I felt after doing that. Even if I was getting a whole bunch done, even if the short-term idea of this was, wow, look how much I'm checking off my list here. Mentally, physically, spiritually, I was drying up. So one day I just finished work and I was like, what am I going to do? I can play a video game, whatever. My wife is out of town. She used to travel for work. Instead, I was like, I've got some weeds in the yard. I can go out and I can pick those weeds. So I did. I put on some headphones, spent about 30 minutes picking weeds out in the front yard. The yard looked better. I felt better. And so I was like, well, wow, this is something we can do. So look for ways that you can get outside, you can sweat, you can experience nature, and just kind of ground yourself again. It's really, really going to help. Okay, the last thing. Number 5, rest is important. Don't discount rest. Don't think about downtime as being unproductive. Instead, think about your batteries being recharged so you can be way more productive during your working times. Okay? The tunnel vision, again, can seem alluring at first, but it's going to, in the long run, be detrimental to you. So give yourself time to sleep. Give yourself time to just play, enjoy. Give yourself time to not be solving these problems. Because what we have seen through various science and various reports is that our brains, when we're doing other tasks, are still trying to solve the problems we're doing during the workday. Whether we're sleeping, sometimes our dreams are related to those puzzles. How many of you have woken up in the middle of the night going like, crap, I know the answer to that problem I'm working on at work? A lot of people have had that. I've had that. And so don't discount that. Give yourself the time to rest. It's going to help you be more creative and more on your game when you need to be during the workday. All right, so those are the 5 things. Really quick to just refresh, just go through them without the explanations is strive for balance, create and maintain a workspace, hack your schedule, communicate with others, and then finally, rest is important. Don't discount it. All right, let's be safe, let's be healthy. We're going to get through this together. Give yourself some extra grace during this time. It's a weird time for a lot of us. I hope this is helpful. If you have other tips that have helped you, please reach out. Let me know. I will share them. If you like this video, if you want more, hit like, subscribe, comment with questions. I'll respond to those. Thank you so much. Take care.